I will go 3, 2, 1.
Now recording.
Hello and welcome back to the Fight for Liberty podcast. I am your host, JJ, and I'll be hosting this episode alongside my glorious co-host, Alfie. How are you doing today, Alfie?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Just chilling. This is the 14th episode, if I'm not mistaken. And we haven't missed a week. We've been pretty consistent, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of our goal right now, just to be consistent with what we do.
Yes, consistency is the best thing we can do in these podcasting days.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like from like a goal standpoint, like it's a lot better to build something if our first step is just being consistent.
Very
So
true.
that's we're doing this for liberty.
Yes, we are fighting for it, some could say. um any news from last week? I don't think so. We did the stream last week, did the stream again this week. Live stream, obviously we're also streaming this live as we're recording, so if you want to have access to the podcast early, follow us on Twitch and tune into those live streams. Otherwise, you just have to wait till we release it on YouTube and Spotify. I guess really the biggest thing was we made a Linktree account. So now we have one link for all of our sources, which is very convenient for you guys and for us. That will actually be in the description of these episodes now instead of every single link. So
Yeah, it's a lot
check.
helpful.
It is a lot more helpful. So check the description if you're interested in gaining access to that link tree. It'll be there. And with that, let's get into it.
Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Okay.
To the viewers
yes.
that we're not viewing through the stream, I have something to show you. I don't know if you could kind of see it a little bit.
If you're on Spotify right now, switch to YouTube because you're not gonna want to miss this. All right, go ahead.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Behold
the flag in the flesh. A physical flag.
The Crusade of Freedom flag.
It's amazing.
It's so glorious. Is there any the context for that? Do you want to give the context, or do you want me to?
No, I could give it.
Okay.
So this was ordered and gifted to me. I had designed this flag, and for so long, it's just been a digital thing. So, and this arrived about a few days ago, and on Monday, I think. And I hung it up, and it's beautiful.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the person who had that made and shipped to Alfie. You know who you are. Yes. If you're watching and listening. If you're listening, again, you just missed out on a fantastic reveal. You can probably put two and two together to figure out what it is. It's a flag. It's the Crusade of Freedom flag that Alfie designed, but he now has it in physical form on the wall behind him. And it's awesome.
Yes.
And with that, let's get into our first article, shall we? This comes from The Guardian. The source is The Guardian. It says, the headline reads, "Giving Trump the Nobel Peace Prize medal is, quote, absurd, says Norwegian politicians." Political leaders in Norway have condemned the Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. Machado's or Machado's? I don't know. Machado's, quote, absurd decision to present her Nobel Peace Prize medal to Donald Trump, accusing the U.S. president of being a, quote, classic show-off. Wait, what did you say the pronunciation was? feel like her name's
I
gonna
think it's
pop up.
Machado.
Machado. Okay. The U.S.
Maybe.
president I mean, we'll just take a guess. Well, we have both decided that's her name now. So if
We
you're
did. We
watching,
decided.
if you're watching, you have to change the pronunciation of your last name now. No. They said that, or they accused the U.S. president of being, quote, a classic show-off who takes credit for other people's work. I don't really know if I agree with that, considering it was kind of his call to do the stuff in Venezuela. So it really was his work that he's taking credit for. But we'll see what this article, what the justification they have, it says.
Wait, weren't like all these countries like condemning what they did, what we did?
Well, what we did in Venezuela?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Were they?
Well, I know like the official, uh, the official, we condemn you type of deal was done by like a handful of countries. I don't think that like a lot of the Western European countries like officially condemned us, but I do know like a lot of people were not too happy about it, and some people questioned the legality of it.
Well, it's
But
kind of a gray area, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they got him on a
yeah,
loophole, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember the
yeah.
specifics.
Well,
I
I
think it was
mean,
kind of illegal, but also kind of legal. Or maybe it was kind of
I,
illegal, but also who's gonna not. I can't remember. I read something about it being in a little.
well, I think per the UN, and we weren't allowed to do it, but the UN is useless and in many, many cases throughout the history of the UN existing has not secured world peace like they had intended to,
There are
like
some
the League of
errors.
Nations.
Yeah. Well, so I guess Norway was probably in agreement with the other countries you're referring to about not being a fan of that because they said that Trump's a classic show off. The Nobel receiver gave her medal to Trump at the White House on Thursday, quote, in recognition of his unique commitment to our freedom. Several hours later, Trump wrote on Truth Social that Mikado, quote, presented me with her Nobel Peace Prize for the work I have done. Such a wonderful gesture of mutual respect. The Nobel Peace Center said on social media that, quote, a medal can change owners, but the title of a Nobel Prize receiver, it's using a fancy word for receiver, but cannot. The organizers of the prize, the Norwegian Nobel Community and the Norwegian Nobel Institute, had said that the prize, quote, cannot be revoked, shared, or transferred when Mikado revealed her plan, a sentiment that was then reiterated by the Institute on Friday. That's why they're saying that, because they didn't give the Nobel Peace Prize to Trump. They gave it to her, and she's giving it to Trump. So that's the problem that they have, it appears. When Mikado was awarded the prize, and also last month after making a dramatic secret journey from Venezuela, the Nobel Committee celebrated her long struggle of democracy against Maduro's, quote, brutal authoritarian state. Since then, Trump has invaded Venezuela and removed Maduro, handing power to Venezuela's
Oh,
vice
wait,
president,
that
Delcy
was
Rodriguez.
her.
What was her?
Oh. No, because I remember about a month or two ago, like there was a whole thing about how she got the Nobel Peace Prize, and remember she made a statement saying Trump should have gotten it, or he should have received it. I didn't know that was the same person.
So then he just basically. So then she just gifted it to him.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm kind of confused on why the lashback is being given to Trump and not her. If anything,
Um,
give her lashback. He didn't ask for it. Publicly. She publicly gave it to him.
he's okay. He's being criticized for accepting it.
Oh,
That
okay. That's okay. That's
well,
kind
no,
of.
but I guess. Well, I mean, but
It still should be a little bit more
lashback.
evenly dispersed.
I mean, lashback towards her would be warranted given. Oh, I guess it says, hold on. Leaders have condemned her for the absurd. So they're condemning her too for the decision to present her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump. So
So a little bit of both.
So wait, yeah,
This article is just talking about Trump, probably to get clicks.
yeah. I mean, look at him when he's happy. Smile.
Yeah, here, I'll show this for the viewers. Look at Donald Trump and he's grinning like a small boy on Christmas. He's so happy. To be fair though, if I'm given a Nobel Peace Prize, dude, I'd be smiling too. I'd be cheesing. I'm not even gonna lie. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd be cheesing. Christy Bergstow. I assume I'm mispronouncing that name because that O has an accent mark. But anyway, Kirsty, the leader of, I can't tell if it's Christie because the I comes first. I don't know. Regardless, the leader of Norway's Socialist Left Party and its foreign policy spokesman said, quote, "This is, above all, absurd. The Peace Prize cannot be given away." Trump's recent threats to invade Greenland, she said, foreshadowing for the episode, demonstrated why he was not a worthy recipient. Quote, "Trump will no doubt claim that he has now received it, but it cannot be transferred, and Trump's repeated threats towards Greenland clearly demonstrate why it would have been madness to award him the prize." Another person named Vedum, their last name is Vedum, the leader of the Center Party, said, quote, "Whoever has received the prize has received the prize. The fact that Trump accepted the medal says something about him as a type of person. A classic show-off who wants to adorn himself with other people's honors and works," end quote. Raymond, a guy named Raymond, a Labor former governing mayor of Oslo, who is now Secretary General of Norwegian People's Aid, said the situation was, quote, "unbelievably embarrassing and damaging." I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but does this not seem like a tad bit of an overreaction? Because
Yeah, I mean, you could be against it, but like, I feel like it's like just too much. Like these people are.
Right. The committee has made it clear that this does not make Trump a receiver of the Nobel Peace Prize. This just means that he has that lady's copy of it, basically. Because all that this means. This means nothing on paper other than that he has that.
I don't know why like they're throwing a fit about it.
I don't know. This seems like a bit much. It goes on and on, quoting a bunch more people.
You could call this action stupid, but it's almost like, I don't know, like they're acting as if he just did something like awful.
Yeah, they're acting
really,
like
really
Trump
bad.
broke into her house and took it off the wall.
Yeah.
No, he accepted it. He didn't have to. But again, it really doesn't mean anything because you can't transfer the label. It just means that he has a plaque to hang on his wall. Right? And I mean, she willingly gave it up. She wanted to. That was her decision. It's hers that she owns. I don't see the problem personally.
Yeah, especially from her perspective. Like, the reason why she got the Nobel Peace Prize is because she was a fighter for democracy and rights in Venezuela. And, I mean, from her perspective, I mean, he practically, did a major operation that got rid of the dictator there. So from her perspective, I could imagine her being extremely grateful.
For sure. This just seems like a lot. This seems like too much.
Yeah.
Again, the article just continues on and on. What are your thoughts on her decision and this overall? Obviously, you shared your thoughts on the hate, and you don't think he should get hate. Do you think it's weird of him that he accepted it?
It's this whole thing is, unorthodox, but I don't really care either way. I would if he asked for it, I wouldn't be all um like super, like I wouldn't like support like being like super demanding of it.
Yeah, if he asked for
Like,
it, that'd be weird.
that, yeah. Yeah, but well, I don't think he asked for it.
No, he
She
didn't.
just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, she offered it after saying that. Her acceptance, saying that he
Yeah.
should have got it, she then offered it to him. He didn't ask for it. If he
I
did ask
mean,
for it, it was not
yeah,
publicly.
yeah. I mean, I don't really care that much. I mean,
Neither do I, to be
okay.
honest. I I think it's kind of just a waste of news, to be honest. There's probably so much other stuff that happened today that they could have reported on, but this was headlining, which is bizarre that they took this much time to write an article quoting all these people. But
Yeah,
write in
well,
if we're missing something in terms of perspective. Write in the comments, email
yeah.
us. Let us know what you guys think about this. Because in my opinion, he's not getting the title. It doesn't change any titles for him. He doesn't get any medals. It'd be like if I won a Guinness World Record, and then I gave somebody that plaque that said I won a Guinness World Record. That does not mean that the person who I gave the plaque to has also won a Guinness World Record now. That just means that they have a plaque. It's the same thing. She basically just gave. It'd be like, yeah, it's no different than having a diploma for graduating, giving it to somebody. That does not mean that they've graduated. It
Here,
just
I
means
want
that
to
they
read
have a
the plaque
diploma.
actually, just to
Yeah,
understand it. To President Trump, in gratitude for your extraordinary leadership in promoting peace through strength, advancing diplomacy, and liberty, defending liberty.
whoa,
We do that. And prosperity.
podcast reference.
2025 Nobel Peace Prize. What is it? Prize medal awarded to her, presented as a personal symbol of gratitude on behalf of the Venezuelan people in recognition of President Trump's principled and decisive action to secure a free Venezuela. The courage of America and its president Donald Trump will never be. It's not a transfer. It's just like a thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This does not mean that he's a Nobel Peace Prize holder. On paper, it's not. He just has this plaque.
It's just like a medal.
Right. Yeah. I don't understand the
It's
big deal.
no, I think Norway needs to calm down.
Yeah, they do. But again, I mean, if we're missing something here, write in the comments and let us know. Because we could be. But
Yeah,
from my perspective, I do not see
it's
any
possible.
reason for such a big blow up.
Yeah, but I mean, just reading the plaque, I don't really see like too much to be missed. But we don't know. Maybe on the other side of the plaque, it's completely different.
Yeah. The other side of the plaque is like a contract that she signed.
A contract.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say on that? Oops. On that topic.
Norway, watch out. You might be the next state.
You may be the
No,
next
I'm
Greenland
kidding.
to Norway. What? No, that would be crazy. Okay, let's see here.
Greenland on the globe is actually pretty close to Norway, so.
You morph them together. Next two states, Greenland and then Norway.
Actually, no, wait, I take that back. Well, there's an island, a pretty big island that Norway owns, but yeah,
That's fair.
you never know, Norway. You could be going to sleep, and then next morning you wake up, you're America.
Yeah, you are America. Yeah, yeah. Which leads me to our next article. See what I did there? This comes from BBC News. The headline reads: Trump threatens new tariffs on countries opposed to Greenland takeover. U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to place tariffs on nations that do not go along with his ambitions to annex Greenland. Trump said at a White House meeting that, quote, that he, quote, may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, end quote, which is a self-governing territory controlled by Denmark. He did not say which countries might be hit with new tariffs or what authority he would invoke on such to use such import taxes in pursuit of his goal. Along with Denmark and Greenland, other countries oppose his plans and many in the U.S. have expressed skepticism. I
You
believe
got spelled it wrong.
they misspelled skepticism. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the K.
Yeah, they spelled it with a C instead of a K. BBC News, like one of the biggest news.
Is that how they spell it in Britain?
Oh, actually, yeah, maybe. I forgot this is a British broadcast. Anyway, skepticism about an acquisition. As Trump spoke, a
Oh, it is.
bipartisan.
Sorry.
It is how they spell it?
Yeah, they spell it with a C.
Oh, my apologies, British people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse my Americanness, I guess. I didn't realize you guys
American.
spell stuff wrong.
Yeah.
As Trump spoke, a bipartisan congregational delegation was visiting Greenland to show support for the territory. The 11-member group included Republicans who voiced concerns about the president's calls for the U.S. to somehow acquire Greenland for national security reasons. They met MPs as well as Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and her Greenlandic counterpart Jens Fredrik Nielsen. I like that spelling of Frederick. It's kind of cool. Fredderik. I assume it's just pronounced like Frederick.
Derek.
Group leader Senator Chris Coons, a Democrat, said their trip was to listen to the locals and to take their views back to Washington to, quote, lower the temperature. So they're going to go talk to the locals in Greenland, be like, hey, it's not that bad, and then come back and tell everybody in Washington, hey, they're pretty chill with it. Trump has said Greenland is vital for U.S. security, and Washington would get it, quote, the easy way or the hard way. An apparent reference to buying the island or taking it by force. I mean, okay. It says, quote, I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland because we need Greenland for national security. Has he specified what he means by for national security? Or do you have any insight? Because it seems very vague.
I think what he's talking about is more kind of our Western sphere of influence.
Mm.
I think his justification for it is that he would like have like I guess like so we have like presence there.
I mean, that makes sense. As
Yeah.
under national security, I mean, like that makes sense for the national security term.
I guess like the argument is that like Russia and China could invade really and take the entirety of Greenland really quick.
True.
And then now they have a huge foothold in the Americas.
Yeah, and if America had Greenland, then Greenland would have the best military in the world by default.
Yeah, by default. Yeah.
Greenland is sparsely populated but resource rich, and its location between North America and the Arctic makes it well placed for early warning systems in the event of missile attacks and for monitoring vessels in the region. I guess if I had kept reading, it would have answered the question. The U.S. already has more than 100 military personnel permanently stationed at its base, a missile monitoring station on Greenland's northwestern tip that has been operated by the U.S. since
Wait,
World War
100
II.
military?
Yeah. This has
Hold
been
on.
in operation since World War II.
100
like-
people?
That's what it says.
It's like
Well,
3
100
classrooms full of people.
Well, 100 permanently.
Oh, okay, permanently.
100 people since World War II. They're probably so old.
It's just been there forever.
Yeah. Under existing agreements with Denmark, the U.S. has the power to bring as many troops as it wants to Greenland. But Trump has said that the U.S. needs to own it to defend it properly against possible Russian or Chinese attacks. I mean, I guess maybe he's worried that Greenland's gonna work in cahoots with Russia or China. I don't know what he
Yeah.
means by properly. Denmark has warned that military action would spell the end of NATO, the transatlantic defense alliance where the U.S. is the most influential partner. NATO works on the principle that allies have to aid each other in case of attack from outside. It has never faced an option where one member would use force against another. European allies have rallied to Denmark's support. They have also said that the Arctic region is equally important to them and that its security would be a joint NATO responsibility with the U.S. involved. To this end, several countries, including France, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Finland, and the Netherlands, and the UK, have dispatched a small number of troops to Greenland in a so-called reconnaissance mission. My goodness. French President Emmanuel Macron said land, air, and sea assets would soon be sent. The visit of the U.S. Congressional delegation comes days after high-level talks in Washington failed to convince Trump away from his plans. They include senator and members of the U.S. House of Representatives who are fervent supporters of NATO. Though Coons and the majority of the group are Democratic staunch opponents, and the majority of the group are Democratic staunch opponents of Trump, it includes moderate Republican senators Tom Tillis and Lisa Murkowski. Greenlandic MP Aja Kiminets said the meeting with U.S. legislators had made her, quote, hopeful. She told the BBC, quote, we need friends, we need allies. Yeah, of course you do.
One big military ally.
Asked about the wide gulf between the view of the White House and the position of Greenland and Denmark, she said, quote, it's a marathon, not a short sprint. Quote, the pressure from the U.S. is something that we've seen since 2019. It would be naive to think that everything is over now. She added, quote, it's changing almost hour by hour, so as much support we can get, the better. Murkowski is one of the supporters of a bipartisan bill aimed at blocking any attempt to annex Greenland. Of course she would be. I mean, I would be against somebody taking over my house. A Republican congressman has also introduced a rival bill in support of annexing the island. Trump's envoy to Greenland, Jeff Landry, told Fox News on Friday that the U.S. should talk with Greenland's leaders, not Denmark. Quote, I do believe that there's a deal that should and will be made once this plays out, he said. Quote, the president is serious. I think he's laid down the markers before. He's told Denmark and what he's looking for, and now it's a matter of having Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Vice President J.D. Vance make a deal. The United States has always been a welcoming party. We don't go in there trying to conquer anybody and trying to take over anybody's country. We say, listen, we represent liberty. Oh, podcast reference. We represent economic strength. We represent protection. The foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland met Vance and Rubio at the White House on Wednesday, according to a Danish official who spoke to the BBC on background. To discuss the meeting, the U.S. Vice President proposed finding a, quote, middle ground that would satisfy Trump and Denmark and Greenland. The official said the possibility of a U.S. military takeover of Greenland has not been raised in the White House meeting. In the White House meeting, quote, we have never been in any discussions with any serious official or minister about the prospects of the United States sending in, quote, troops to Greenland, the official said. Still, the Danish official said Denmark was taking Trump's stated goal to seize Greenland seriously. Quote, it is our working hypothesis that on this issue, what he says is what he means, the official said. And that is the end of the article. What do you think about this, Alfie?
I think Trump needs to pump the brakes a bit on Greenland. I think that, I guess it would be nice in theory, but considering there's so much pushback to this, I feel like pushing it too far could spark a war, and we don't want that at all. And I mean, it's it's just not good, especially because it does come off really like imperialistic, which is very bad. So I think that if I think it all has to come down to the consent of the native Greenland, the Greenlandic people. Uh, I think that if uh, if they want to join the U.S., then by all means. I've heard an idea of them becoming independent. That could be the case. I've heard, I haven't confirmed this, but I have heard that they do not like the Danes, the native Greenlandish people. I don't know how to say it. Is it Greenlandic or Greenlandish?
I think it's Greenlandic.
That sounds right. Yeah, because Icelandic is also. Um, I think for the whole national security thing, I think that that can be done through like maybe like a deal that like okay we're you know heavily increase our military presence because we do have a lot of U.S. military bases throughout different countries and just since they are technically NATO territory, um, just putting more presence there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary to annex it. Um, I mean, I guess you could say that, the resources aren't being used to its fullest potential, which, I mean, I don't think a whole conflict is worth that, just that whole thing. I mean, it would be nice maybe trying to do some cooperation
Yeah.
with some resource.
I I agree. But here's a question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say worst case scenario, because clearly, I mean, Trump seems fairly serious about this. Let's say worst case scenario, right? He does try to take it by force. Do you think there will be a war?
It's funny. I feel like a part of me says no, because I mean, no one wants war with the United States. I think
Yeah.
that if they tried to attack us, like let's say we seize it, it's completely ours. I mean, what were the countries mentioned? France, Germany.
The UK, I
Um,
think, was one of them.
I mean, our defense budget is like I gotta fact check this, but I remember seeing like almost like double or triple uh, times number the second ranking in terms of military spending. So I mean, they're not putting a dent in the United States. You could say maybe through Canada if they tried to invade us, but um, yeah, there's. I mean, we're talking about the United States military.
I agree. Honestly, I think that maybe, honestly, because there's a lot of talk, but maybe, but it's very unlikely there would be a war, in my opinion. I think if Trump really wanted to take Greenland, I think he could.
Yeah, but I would
I would advise he didn't
personally,
if I spoke to him.
yeah, I would personally condemn him if he maybe sees an episode. If he did that, he sees an episode of us condemning him, and then he stops.
He gives it back.
Maybe he gives it back. All right,
Sorry, Greenland. You can have it back now. I'm done.
we were just playing around.
Yeah, just messing with you. That's actually an
No, but
interesting thought. So, say he annexes it and it's a part of the United States, and then his term ends and a new president takes power. Could that president just renounce it and break it off, or would they then just have to manage it as part of the United States?
I actually don't know how like what's the word? Like territory uh processes procedures work.
Yeah.
So because I actually don't know if that's I feel like that's something through Congress. Um if that was the case, I feel like that wouldn't be like a quick like I mean, like the executive branch is not, dictatorship, there's, checks and balances. There's
Right.
they would I I I feel like that'd be a Congress thing, that would it probably wouldn't be like an overnight thing.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
But I that's definitely something that could happen because that's it would be it would be wrong for him to take it by force.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what do you think the chances are that he does take it by force? It seems kind of unlikely at this point that a deal's made. It does not seem like Greenland wants to join the U.S.
I really hope that he doesn't. That'd
Yeah, but
be so embarrassing. But I
it
think
would be. But
the
looking at it,
chances.
yeah, chances on a scale of 100% to 0%, chances that he does it. Because I also really don't want him to, but I think it's a fairly high chance, to be honest. I'd say
I would say,
70% personally.
it's kind of funny. Like with Trump, like there are some things that he says like he will do, and it gets done. But some things are kind of like so outrageous. And I
True.
think this is one of them.
This is one of the outrageous ones.
Yeah.
He's been talking about it for a while, to be fair, also.
Well, it was recently really like brought up again after the whole thing with Maduro.
True. So, what do you think the chances are? Out of 100.
Maybe I'm kind of optimistic that they're low. Maybe like 35%.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just basing what I'm saying off of how he's talking about it, to be honest. He
Yeah.
said literally said the easy way or the hard way, which when people are pulling out the good old easy way or hard way rhetoric, they're pretty serious,
Yeah.
which is not a good thing in this scenario.
I think the realistic option, like talking about like if they like a full war went out, um, I I think there would be a divide in NATO if a war broke out, but I think a realistic outcome is uh, the dissolving of NATO
Yeah, that's what that article referenced as
solution.
well. I also think that if there's an attack or a conflict, that would just be NATO being dissolved. I don't think it would stay.
Yeah, I think with actually Greenland and Iceland were also uh, occupied by the U.S. during World War II,
Mm,
and for the reason of like kind of what I was saying earlier, like having a presence, because like the worry was that Germany was gonna invade Iceland and Greenland to like get a foothold
so
in
same
that
national
region.
security reasoning then.
Yeah, so I think the way to put that on the same level is just heavily increasing the military presence, like I mentioned earlier.
Yes,
Um, I don't know. He's he's
he's
got
unpredictable.
this. Yeah, he's pretty unpredictable.
He's pretty unpredictable.
Uh,
Could go either way.
he seems like he's not joking. There's some things like okay, like he's joking,
Right.
but
He seems serious on this one. So
yeah,
our official takes, obviously, is that we do not want him to take it by force. If he cuts a deal, that's different. If they both agree to it, that's different. But we do not want the conflict to occur from it being taken by force and that aspect happening. So that's the Fight for Liberty podcast's official take on it.
Yeah, I do
Obviously.
think that even if a deal between the Danish people, or excuse me, the Danish government was established, some deal was made. I do think though that the prior should be the Greenlandic people, like I said earlier. I mean, like I think they could be independent,
Yes.
and maybe they obviously joined NATO. Just same with Iceland being an independent country in NATO with no military, but like just kind of uh, that expansion of the sphere of influence. I mean, not that there'd be a new expansion because Greenland is already technically under Denmark in NATO,
Right.
but
I know what you mean. Yeah,
yeah,
that's where we stand. Anything else you'd like to say on the topic?
um, uh, just watch it, Trump.
You're on thin ice, pal.
Yeah, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
We're
But
gonna start
no,
rolling up
but
our sleeves pretty soon. They'll make
but
us
I
get
really, I
involved with
really,
Trump.
I really don't want this to be an embarrassing, shameful thing for the United States. I was
No,
very, very proud to hear that he took Maduro. This
he
is
did.
not something I'd be proud of
No.
if he took it by military force.
Yes. If he cut a deal, I'd be chill with that. That'd be cool. If he
Yeah,
was able to cut a deal that they both agreed on, that would be a different story. But taking it by military force, that's no good, no bueno.
yeah. And the other thing I wanted to say too is that I really hope that maybe this is all just a huge test for all these other countries to ramp up their military spending, because I know
Could
that
be.
was one thing that Trump had a lot of criticism regarding NATO, where he felt that they weren't spending enough. We were just like carrying, which is true. They were kind of
Yeah.
just laying back, enjoying all the government benefits, not having to worry about any defense because they know, Article 5, if anything happened, we'd come to their defense. But
Right. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
maybe
it
one
could
day
be a test.
he gets up and says, "Yeah, we were just joking. We just wanted to get you on your feet."
It's, it's like an episode of Impractical Jokers. Like, all right, Trump. Now say that you're gonna annex Greenland.
That'd be
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's going on there. Write in, let us know your opinions on the Greenland being annexed and how you would feel about it being taken by military force. Let's see, we're about 43 minutes in. It's probably a good time to end it.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that was we're at a good point.
Thank you for watching the Fight for Liberty podcast. This is episode 14. And we will see you next week for our 15th episode. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, and Twitch if you want to see live streams, and then also any other link, because now we'll have that link tree in the description for you to click on and see everything that we have. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Maybe.
I want to do Minecraft some more.
I'm not into the stream yet. Just a moment. Or I'm not into the recording yet.
Oh, okay.